30 minutes, 3 10-minute bolts. So there's time, but you got to get off to a fast start here. And here we go with the mini tennis again. We do not do a coin toss. You got to earn your choice. And there's 1 point right there for Knoxville. Don't give Hunter a backhand. Come on, guys.
You did say his backhand is his bread and butter. Oh, a little confusion here early on.
Hunter gets that toss up just in time. Hunter forces the net right there, but that forehand right there by Trent. That snip forehand, that is so much action on that. That backhand return. Almost that. Oh, that was going to be needed by Knoxville.
That would have been nice, little sneaky 2-pointer. Almost doesn't cut it.
You know, Trent likes to take a lot of forehands to the net player. It's so much action. It's so hard to volley against that. You know, Hunter redirects with just Trent being back there, just taking forehands all day. That is dangerous. Let's see, do we have a little bit of I formation? Vaughn, do you like I formation playing when you played?
It's funny you asked that. It's definitely a mental aspect of it. It took me a while. Even like, you probably remember when we played doubles, it was kind of a mental block, especially for being a server, because there's a player in front of you. It didn't take me until maybe at the end of my college career or in the early stages of my pro career that I finally had to adapt and mix it up than just playing traditional one-up, one-back or serve and volleying. Definitely have to mix it up, and I definitely got comfortable later on in my career and definitely used it because there's so many good returners, just like we saw there. The kick serve, serve and volley, these guys and gals can just rip it at your feet, and it's just not going to cut it. So when you play the I formation, it keeps the returner guessing of where you want them to go. So definitely started to enjoy it at the tail end.
Great hands by Michaela there. Way to be ready. You know, a lot of singles players that don't play a lot of doubles like to use the I formation because it puts them in a position that is more like their singles service position, so they like to go there. Great back.
So definitely, I mean, you would know firsthand. You obviously had a great overall game, capable of volleying, but you were a player that didn't mind if you serve and had to stay back and work the doubles game with your ground soaks and break down some net players. And that's what you see a lot more in the college tennis game and definitely on the pro tour, that, yeah, the guys can hit hard from the back. You don't have to come in. Take a look at this rally right here from the guys.
Oh, great hands by Michaela. Look at those. 147, 112. Yeah, you know, what's changed so much in today's game is the rackets, the string, their ability to hit spin. And if you don't have a great serve, people are just going to absolutely tee off on the return. And if you're serving volleying, getting caught in this old school format that, well, I have to serve and volley because it's doubles, I have to be at the net, right? Well, if you don't have a great serve, you don't have great volleys, you shouldn't be at the net. That's not where you play best. So
Absolutely.
I didn't have a great serve. I was okay, but my volleys weren't good enough to back up the serve I had. Trent, rip it. Gosh. This is not the 10 minutes that you wanted from Knoxville, but so I prefer to stay back.
Yeah, totally. Heck, I even had to try it time to time when I was playing on the tour and on the red clay with all these Europeans and South Americans. My serve and volley tactic would just not cut it. So you do have to adapt. Right now, this team, Atlanta, I feel like this is team when all they do is not just win, but go for shots like this. This is all they produce off of Coach Ferreira's team, is just going for broke, going big.
And I think that's a function of Team Atlanta being very aware that that's what Rob has been serving all day. So, you know, he was ready for that. He kind of baited her into that, and then as soon as she hit that ball, Trent was all over it. So Robin's going to have to change up that service position because they know where that serve is going.
Yeah. Yeah, the mixed doubles format is always interesting. I'm sure we both played our fair share of mixed double, but you know, you're trying to find the player who's the weakest on the court. Obviously, these players have an amazing resume, whether it's the male or the female. You're going to try to see who's going to get picked on exactly.
I think this is what we're going to find out right here. It's a big lead, no doubt about it. You can almost say it's over, but the thing is, if you start to play too reckless right there, too smart, try to overplay, again, it's just going to get worse. So have to find a way. There's still a lot of 24 minutes left at tennis. Still have to take 1 point at a time, you know, because if not, this can really get out of hand. What happened here with Hunter? What's going on?
What did happen?
Hunter is saying that it was not Trent's serve. Or it was supposed to be Trent's serve. Hunter loves to get in a good little argument at times. It did not work out for him. Oh!
Hey, this is incredible.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Look at Marcelo's eyes. Look at that.
This is nuts.
All smile. How much of this is Knoxville not playing great or Atlanta just being too good?
No, hands down. Today's the day where you lost because Atlanta just completely woke up, had their Wheaties or whatever their prep was. I mean, this doubles match alone around mixed doubles, I think I must have seen, along with you, maybe 8 or 9 winners already.
And he almost had another one. Great read, just happened to miss that right there. 162, 116.
I don't think Knoxville has played too badly today from watching our ladies match, our men's match, now this mix. I think it's just a matter of the players right now from Atlanta. They're striking well, and they're playing on their terms, and today's a day where all the shots are falling in. Not going to say that this would be a repeat the next time they play, but this is definitely a day where Atlanta's just locked in. Everything's going their way.
Yeah, I kept saying, talked about it after one of the breaks, that we were thinking that every team is going to have a run at some point. Every team is going to slip just a little bit. Haven't really seen that slip yet from Atlanta. And Robin, there she is, right? She's trying to go for the bigger serve because, you know, Trent just teed off on it before.
A little bit of chess match there, getting in the head of Robin, as you mentioned, making her think differently about her serve, going for more, changing her target. Trent's running around. Oh my goodness. I don't think that was Trent's intentions, but the way the speed of the ball was going. Ouch. Ouch, yeah. Ouch, ouch. Hopefully Hunter is doing all right.
Yeah, he caught that volley late. He caught it late. You could tell that his racket face was a little too much open. I mean, that ball was going way out. So there's no way Trent wanted to do it on purpose. Hunter coming back. He goes, I'm going for you.
JY, do we get +2 or +5 points for pegs if you get contact on some skin?
I'm hoping we get a +5 on that rule change, but that might incentivize a little bit too much violence. So
surely Knoxville needs any points.
Yeah, I would not be opposed to that. Here we go. Oh. Just 1 point at a time. Take the time. You think about it. Think about how Atlanta built that big lead in the men's singles match. It's just 1 point at a time. They got it to a 30-something point lead in one match. So why not here?
Why not then? Why not then? That's why, JY. That's why.
Just when you want to get things rolling, here comes Trent. George is ready there as well. Keep him on the sideline. Knoxville does not want to see him.
JY, I want to ask you about a strategy once we finish this vault here and get your thoughts on it.
Great volley by Justine there. +2. Justine doing great. Way to step in that mixed doubles. You know, Michaela really dominated the women's singles, but Justine doing an amazing job here in the mixed doubles. What question you got for me, Va?
So, I haven't seen it we talked about the I formation as a serving team in doubles. This tactic that you used a lot in your time, whether it was college with me, or even when you played in your pro doubles tour, the 2-back on the return. When you use, obviously the returner's back, but you tell your partner who's usually up at the net, which is what we're seeing now. Sometimes you tell your partner who's supposed to be there to stay back with you on the first serve. What are the advantages of this strategy, and why would someone use that?
Well, I might not be answering your question directly here, but I'm going to take this one step further. How about 2-back on both the serve and the return here? So if you can't be in an offensive position after the first ball, then what does it matter that you're at the net? They're just teeing off on you. So play 2-back and at least just kind of work your way into the point. So, you know, I think they should be playing 2-back on everything. I think you have to do something completely different right now. And, you know, they haven't had an advantage when they serve. You only got one serve. We've seen Trent's returns. Teeing off, I think you got to play 2-back. Okay, maybe you want to play up. You want to look for the poaches. You want to look for the +2s. But if you're not even getting 1 point. You're not even getting a +1. So you can't think about those aggressive opportunities. You know, I think you got to stay back. Both serves. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you took it a step further. Definitely what you see nowadays is a 2-back off the return, but I wouldn't put it past you, if Knoxville wanted to do 2-back on the serve. Definitely not conventional how you're taught or you're by your coaches to play doubles because you're told to be at the net, but if you're getting just blown off the court, which is what we're seeing in this mixed doubles definitely, what do you got to lose? The reason why you go 2-back is to buy yourself some time. You know, work from the back, not getting pulverized at the net. So I think maybe play a little 2-back on the serve in addition to the return. You can give some life and give some time, and then you can work your way back into the net if that's what you want. But the way it's going right now, they're losing a ton of points just playing 1-up, 1-back. Something's got to give.
Do you remember when we were playing against Auburn, NCAA second round, me and you absolutely getting smashed by Tim Putz and his partner, and we went 2-back. Remember that? 2-back on your serve.
Absolutely.
It didn't matter.
That's
we
unbelievable.
Still got smashed. But, yeah, that brings back some memories.
Kudos to you. I knew you'd be the first one to try that strategy. That's why I had to ask you.
Well, I just want to win. And you know, if you're not winning and you've had enough evidence right in front of your face, why are you doing the same thing? If you're going to go down, at least do something different. You talked about it before they started the mixed doubles match. Might as well just go for it, right? If you're losing, what do you have to lose? You're already on your way to losing. So who cares if you look silly playing a formation that maybe isn't traditional or respected upon by whoever? Your job is to figure out a way to win. You don't get bonus points for doing it a certain way.
Absolutely. Yeah, the one thing I hated as a player, and it took a long time to finally get this, like doing the same thing throughout the whole match, whether it was singles or doubles, and I walked up to the court and I got crushed, and I never changed a thing. Why would I repeatedly do something silly like that? So it took a while for me sometimes to make those in-game adjustments. At least I wouldn't have any regrets knowing that I changed up the tactics or I went down with multiple options and not losing just one way.
Yeah, I think that's what separates the good players from the great players, the good teams from the great teams, is their ability to make in-match adjustments. You know, we'll go back to Jimbo Fisher days at Florida State when they won the national championship. How many times did they come out in the second half of those football games and have a completely different game style, and after having a very slow first half, have an unbelievable second half, mid-match adjustments, something I would love Eric Spoelstra to kind of do for Miami Heat in his fourth quarter. Something real different, man.
Absolutely. Go Knowles, by the way. Speaking of talking about Jimbo Fisher, our football team, what do you think it takes for us to get back on the saddle and right that ship?
I don't know. just seems pretty weird to me that you have such a great season and bad season. I feel weird judging. Let's give him another year. Coach Norvell doing a great job over there.
Fair.
Even Hunter there just being like, look at this. This is ridiculous. Look at this back winners down the line.
Are we entering the stage of this match that Knoxville's playing for pride now and try to make this deficit less?
Yeah, absolutely. You also want to send a message that these teams are going to play against each other again. If you're Knoxville, the worst thing you can do is send the message that there is a point in time where you will quit, where you will be defeated and move on before the match is done. And that's going to give a huge mental advantage to Atlanta. So you're really trying to send a message for the next time they play. Now, hopefully they can come back and have one of the greatest comebacks that we've ever seen in any kind of sporting history, and we get to watch it and talk about it. But I think you're trying to send a message here that we don't go down, we don't go away, because that's going to pay dividends when they play again.
Right. We just saw there deflated Coach Scott Patrick there. Not too happy.
Big poach there by Trent.
A landslide today.
I think I can do this math. Looks like 50.
Right on.
There's Nate with that down the line return, staying away from Trent's forehand. Good hands there, Nate and Robin there. Gotta build. Scott leaning a little forward there, Hunter leaning a little forward. Like, hey, we won a couple points in a row here. Maybe we got something. You're also trying to figure out, okay, again, this is a great time to try strategies. You've got nothing to lose, so you want to try to figure out, is there something that you can use the next time you play them? Is there a matchup? Is there a strategy? I'd still love to see two back. Again, Monday morning quarterback, undefeated sideline coach.
Yeah. Look at that, another +2 there for Atlanta. Easy put away by Mr. Trent. 180 to 129. Yeah, we've yet to see a little in-game adjustment position-wise by them. Nothing to lose yet. They are not thinking that way. Yeah, this is a match they can learn from if they're going to play each other again in the future, as you mentioned. This tactic of one-up, one-back isn't obviously working. So I think they're going to have to change that up next go-around.
Marcelo's still looking tense. He just can't relax until he's looking at the clock. He's like, when are we done? I'm not done every single point.
Ooh, he was looking. He was salivating right there, Trent.
Oh!
Look at this.
With the save. I'm a little tired and confused right there. And they should have won that point. Wanted to win that point. Didn't win that point.
Oh my God. They missed. They missed.
Only a 52-point lead.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. No way with the hand.
Incredible. Incredible.
Oh, man. You know what? I kind of wanted Knoxville to win this. Give them something here. I mean, that would have been just demoralizing.
Absolutely.
You know,
that's the
what was your strategy when you poached Va? You know, when you poach, you got a high volley. I mean, are you going right at that net person? You know, a little low, not at their head, like Trent hit Hunter. Again, I think that was by accident. But yeah. Or you try to sneak it by him.
Honestly, I think maybe I'm not that type of guy. I was trying to go thread the middle in between the players, or I'm going at the feet. Definitely not going head hunting unless they sent the message early on in the match towards me. It's just trying to find the open gap, get it done. Nothing too flashy, but if it became personal, like we saw earlier, not personal, but like you felt like someone went after you, then you may see out of me trying to go for some skin as well.
Was there a player you played against where it felt like any time that you tried to poach, that it didn't matter, like they were everywhere, even if you went at them, around them, and you couldn't really figure out, well, what do I do here? I got a ball I'm supposed to put away. Do I actually go back to the net person? What do I do? Was there a player like that you felt were just everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, definitely played some players where they're just all over the net when they're the serving team, but as the way you were describing when I'm in control of the point, I think I would feel that usually, like we said earlier, when you're playing the two-back strategy, that would be a tough time where I feel like it would be tough to get the ball by them because they were playing that type of situation. But sure, of course, I played against a handful of players that they just had amazing type of hands, and those are the guys probably that I played. They're still on the tour, maybe top 10, top 15, top 20 in the world. But a lot of these doubles guys, spectacular hands at the net. You just kind of have to pick your poison and work kind of the real state of the tennis score and see if you can mix it up on them.
Now, you played against, at the time, and beat the #2 team in the world. Tell us a little bit about that experience, what that was like. How did you beat the #2 team in the world?
Funny you ask. I still don't know, JY, to this day, but it did happen. Funny enough, I feel like it's a anniversary around this time of the year. So it happened at the Delray Beach Open, which is going on right now in Delray Beach, Florida, ATP 250. I think I was probably like 150, 160 in the world in time in doubles, and I signed up with my partner at the time, Sekou Bangura, who played at University of Florida. So he had a gator in the Seminole. We signed up. We knew our rankings weren't good enough to get in direct entry into the main draw, so we signed up, got in as an alternate. Because one of the players pulled out, and they said, get ready, you get in on court, and you're playing the #2 ranked team in the world on center court. So it was just one of those days, maybe kind of feeling like how Atlanta feels, that we were on, the returns were on point. We were driving returns down the line off of I formation. And the way that the format is there, you play a 10-point tiebreaker. It was just one of the days we keep up with the good points, and that's what doubles is. You get to a point everyone's good, and if it's just your day, you come up with a higher percentage of returns. And definitely was one of the better highlights of my tennis career. And then funny enough you asked, because I don't know if you recall this, so I go from beating the #2 team in the world one week. We did end up losing the next round, then it was back to the drawing board, playing the triple A's of the tennis world. I played with you in a 15K or 10K future in Weston, Florida. Next thing you know, we're in a first round battle with 2 South Americans. Do you recall that?
Was this a tournament we actually played Evan King in the semifinal? Is that the one?
I think you're right. Yep, I think that's the one. Yep, exactly.
So Evan King, who is supposed to be playing here for Team Knoxville, looks like they really could have used his help. Unfortunately, he's in the final of the Delray ATP 250 event. Speaks to the level of the players that we have here. He was going to join Team Knoxville. They're missing him. And he had won the Dallas 500. Great poach there by Trent, just piling on in that last point.
It's a hell of a run for Mr. Evan King. As you said, winning Dallas and now in the finals of the Delray Beach Open. Very happy for him. Good kid. Played at University of Michigan, I believe. We remember him from our college days. So happy to see he's having some success out there in the doubles world.
Well,
and sad that we don't have him here today with us.
And the interesting thing about all of that is, we were playing in the lowest level of professional tennis when we played against him, right? And we beat him one of the weeks. I think we played him on back-to-back weeks. And we beat him one of the weeks. And so that's the thing with tennis. It's such a long-term process. You look at Team Knoxville here. Obviously, this is pretty big. This is going to hurt. And they're not going to be happy as they go home. But you can have bad days, and as long as you stay the course, you work hard, you have a good team around you, something Evan's done. He's just stayed the course. And, you get your day in the sun. And, hopefully, Team Knoxville is just going to take it as, hey, so right now, it's just a bad day. We got a minute left here before we get into the last bowl. Let's just call it as it is. And they're just definitely playing for pride because it's going to be impossible for them to come back. But let's see what they try to do with this last 10 minutes. Do they try to build for the future, find some new strategies? You know, the hard part is, you know, the Heat, here we have Atlanta. They got such a big lead. And your team, Knoxville, you're down. You need every point. You're looking for everything. But now you have an opponent. Atlanta's about as relaxed as it can possibly be. And then focus at the same time. And this is when you can really play your best tennis. And so they're just letting it go while Team Knoxville needs every single point. That is the worst place to be in and get out of.
Totally. I mean, Atlanta right now playing with house money, so to speak, playing loose as they should, 191 to 140. So kudos on their part. I think the first part to what you're saying for Knoxville is first part of the healing process, as you saw on one of their changeovers, they're starting to laugh, probably laughing it off, saying there's nothing we can do. I think you got to start with that. What happened here? A little underhand serve?
Michaela trying to get a sneak away serve there? What happened there?
I think so. Everybody kind of froze there, but it looks like that was a point.
Hopefully we don't get a repeat of the Atlanta Falcons, New England Patriots, 28-3. We have seen some crazy stuff happen in this city, though. The Atlanta Braves did win the World Series title.
Yeah, I think you got to laugh it off, and that's the stage now that Knoxville's in. They know this matchup's done, but we've both been there, where there's just nothing you can do on a certain day. You just laugh and have some comedy with it. It'll be a funny memory for them, but maybe for the long haul it'll help them.
Did we see Marcelo smile there? I think it's the first time he smiled today. You know,
well, I think
when you're smiling, when Marcelo's smiling, that's not good. That means it's over.
Salivating. Ooh.
Oh, and her own partner.
Making things interesting here. The opponent, the partner hitting just.
Maybe they'll just knock themselves out. Hunter showing all of his 5'9" right there. Couldn't get to that ball. Robin going big. Now she wants to try to change up and serve more to the backhand when they're down this big. Maybe could have tried that a little bit earlier.
I don't think she's losing too much sleep after that missed serve there.
You see, look at the difference in the two teams, right? You can see you can clearly see the emotions. They're just showing it to you. They don't even have to say it. You can see it by the way they're standing, sitting, the togetherness. And there's Team Knoxville there. They're looking at the clock themselves, but for different reasons right now.
Yeah. We just saw there the Knoxville bench, a very deflated bunch, even though we said they were laughing. Like, these people care. They're here to play, to compete, getting paid athletes, and they want to win and represent their team, their city. It's just not going their way, but they do care.
That's why you get so close to the net. In case you hit it, still dribbles over. Everything going Atlanta's way with frame.
Are you sure you saw Coach Ferraro smiling? He just looked like he had a pretty stern face on there.
Yeah, I'm starting to rethink that smile. Maybe he just needed some floss or something to get something out of his teeth. We're
going to see a team eclipse the 200 marker.
They're going to set records here. I wonder if at any point in time we're going to break what Atlanta is about to score here on the winning side. Somebody do the math for me, but this looks like more than 300 points played in an hour and a half of tennis today. George, get it? Did he touch it? 151, 199. Just under 6 minutes left here. They're just going for it. Might as well. Might as well.
Hey, this is what we needed to see early on. Not that it would have done anything different. I think they waited a little too long, but now they know a 49-point lead is too substantial for them to overcome.
Great movement up there at the net with the fakes. You know, even when you're at the net, you're not just kind of standing there, even if you're not going to poach. You want to stay active. You want to make that return to think something. If you just kind of stand there, that's just a great poach, and that's what happened. So he faked before and stayed. So here he was doing a lot of the same movement. So Robin thought, well, maybe he's faking again, and nope. Coops over there went over with the +2, 203.
Unbelievable. And this is what made George Coupland so spectacular in college. His activity at the net, obviously his big frame there at 6'5", his wingspan covering the court, not only just serving, but the activity at the net. You asked me earlier, how did it feel trying to get the ball sometimes by tennis players? This would be definitely a tough competitor with that wingspan, a guy like George, where he can cover the court so well. Very tough to beat, especially I bet in college tennis when he was at Mississippi State.
Great touch there, Hunter, with the little angled drop volley.
I'll tell you what I respect, JY. That's right before you said, the one thing I respect right now from Atlanta, they're coasting, however, yet they're still signaling to each other for design plays.
Yeah, I think your team Atlanta, you want to send a signal as well that, one, you're just going to be absolutely relentless. You're not stopping. So you're going to be focused no matter what the score is all day long. And you want to put a hurt mentally into your opponents because, again, they are going to play each other again. You really want to make them doubt that they have any chance against you the next time you play. So, you know, if you loosen up as soon as you get a big lead, sure, maybe they win. But it sends a message that, you know, your discipline and focus can go up and down. And Knoxville is looking for anything to hang their hat on that they can build on for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. With 3 minutes left in both three. George Coupland still, I don't want to say headhunting, but he's still positioning himself in that middle portion of the court where the points are won in a doubles match, especially if you're being very active. That's where a good doubles player will be, in that center portion of the court, not worrying so much about getting passed down the line.
And here we have joining us, Capitan Martin. Wow. There's nothing that gave us a sense that this is what it was going to be with the individual matches we saw. What's your feeling? You've been down there on the sideline close to them. What's your feeling on both sides from what you've seen from Team Atlanta and then Team Knoxville? They look a little bit deflated. Obviously, the score is tough. Well, that's what we've been discussing. I would love to get your thoughts where how much of this is just Knoxville not playing well versus Atlanta just playing that well that it almost doesn't matter. That Knoxville has to play perfect to have a chance. Yeah, and just the pressure of the scoreboard, right? We saw this towards the end of that first 10 minutes in this mixed doubles match, to where they feel that pressure to win, and they're just playing so offensive. We saw Hunter trying to be everywhere and poach and be on top, and then it didn't work out. So, you know, it's tough when you have that score that big against you and the clock. Like you guys had a big lead before, so, you know, how comfortable is it when you get that lead and you see the clock and you totally relax and then you play better?
I feel like that's the goal. That helps. You just need to get 50 aces in a row. I need Marshall.
We're not slowing down. We got 51 seconds left. Clock stops in the last minute. But still, I think if you're Knoxville, you're playing for the future here. You want to just try to figure out, okay, is there a strategy that does work against these guys? We're going to have to play them again. We got to figure something out, and might as well try to figure something out right now. What do you think about that? How would you feel? I'm a little biased towards it, but how would you feel about some point maybe even actually just playing two back? I know it's too late at this point, but we've been seeing them play this one up and back the whole time, and it hasn't been working. How do you like it, you know, to try to play two back, or still it's not offensive enough? Any good volleyer will just take over, two people staying back. Why don't we talk a little bit about your matchup coming up in Jacksonville? What day is that going to be? I love that. So they're playing Tampa again in Jacksonville. The Battle of Florida continues. So those are our two main teams down there. March 9th in Jacksonville. So if you're in that area or drivable, you want to make sure that you're going to be out there. They had an incredible bolt. Hopefully we see a healthy Martin there. All right. But if not even a half-injured Capitan there, is still a dangerous player to play against. Here we have 218 to 163, 26 seconds left.
55.
There you go. You see that poach right there. Michaela just going big. The Hunter's ready.
At least 5.
She's again right at him. It looked like Trent didn't mean to do it. It looked like he just kind of got caught with his racket face. I mean, what did you see there? Right at him.
Oh, there's where they at.
Great serve by Robin. She's been trying to go for that and find that. Going more aggressive down the tee. Yeah. And that's that fine balance between sense of urgency but relax. So difficult to find. I don't care what level you're at, how good you are. It's so hard to find that balance. A lot of moving around. Hunter and Robin still playing full out. 3 seconds left.
There it is.
And there it is right there. So we have Team Atlanta, local favorite here, taking the win, 218-171 over Team Knoxville at the Ken Byers Tennis Center at Georgia Tech. What an incredible day for the second preseason match. We had the one-on-ones this morning, and now we had the team format this afternoon. George, Trent, Michaela, Justine. Gosh, they played extremely well. Vahid, what are your thoughts on today as we wind things down?
It's just been amazing to be a part of this opportunity, the growth of this new league. Intense, spectacular play from beginning to end. All these players that are representing these two teams, Atlanta, Knoxville, and all the other cities. Just great resumes, and the intensity and the rules of this league is going to be fun for the next matches in the future. And I think it's going to be entertaining. It was a good, high entertaining tennis, definitely.
Absolutely. So thank you all for joining on this incredible day. March 9th in Jacksonville, they take on Tampa for our third match. Make sure you are either there in person or on the live stream watching us. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in March.